Greetings everyone, my name is Adderville, and welcome to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. In tonight's evening livestream, I'll be covering the level pack Rockman Forte Famicom 1.8 by Mega Man Maker Thailand. This, as it says on the tin, is an 8-bit remake of Mega Man Base made in version 1.8 of Mega Man Maker. As it didn't send an NSF replacement, Vacuum stepped in and provided their own level pack of NSF replacements, so let's see how they sound. I'll be covering the entire pack tonight, hopefully, and next evening, I'm going to be covering another pack. So as always, we begin with the intro stage, World Museum, 181 plays and a score of 69. I'm going to swap between Mega Man and Base for this series. Of the numerous intro stages featured throughout the Mega Man franchise, I found this to be one of the tougher ones, as it already assumes you have played several Mega Man classic games beforehand, and a greater variety of hazards and environments. This is how you get the submarine. Or at least the closest substitute for it. From Blizzard Man. This pack features the intro stage, 8 RM stages, the Crystal Gate, the King stages, and of course the Wily stage. I did actually play 2 of the stages that are featured on this pack. I'll note them down when we get to them. I will play through them again because I want to feature all the levels in the same pack in the same video. Those 2 stages I covered during previous morning live streams. I don't know, Kato. You'll have to ask Vacuum. They posted the NSF pack in the Discord server, so you can download it if you so desire. Mario Kart DS's Waluigi Pinball. Frodo and King should show up here. We skip past to the Goo Devil. Who's standing here is the Yellow Devil. Not sure why this didn't have rain. It's not like the engine doesn't have rain. Without the rain, we don't have the Toadman section, essentially. Which also makes the stage a lot easier because, at least when I originally played the game, the Toadman sections of the museum were the hardest. I guess it's fine. Alright. Breaking from tradition, I'm gonna go after Ground Man first. 45 plays, score of 11. Typically I go after Cold Man or Dynamo Man first with Mega, but I'm gonna buck the trend. No. Why do we begin with all the special weapons? We should have an intro screen where we get to choose which special weapons we start out with. I mean, pretty much, at this point, pretty much every level pack has at the very least a selection of all the special weapons you can pick up, depending on which stages in the level pack you've completed. It at least could have done that. I don't care about carrying over E and M tanks so much. but at least have the option of choosing which special weapons I have. In the olden days of Mega Man Maker, where making level packs was more of a new thing, quote-unquote newer thing, it made more sense. But now, 3 to 4 years into the game, at the very least, you should follow what most other level packs are doing. And this is a traditional level pack anyway, modeled after a traditional Mega Man Classic game, so it makes even less sense why you don't do it. It's not even that complicated either. But those are my 2 bits on this matter. My 2 bolts. Onto the stage itself. Well, I guess we couldn't have the worm, so we have this instead. And we can outrun the worm. Mostly. I guess this is fair enough. Get down, please. Rats. No life pickup either. Well, at least the checkpoint was right before the mid-boss, which is pretty generous. I didn't expect that. They aren't that durable, but depending on their spawn position, it can be difficult to actually hit them. Especially when there's 2 of them at the same time. And narcotic damage is comically large. Way larger than basically every other enemy type. Even Big Eyes. It's fine, I don't really have that many either. Okay, this felt harder than the original version. Especially without special weapons. And no, I'm gonna avoid cheating if possible. I'm not gonna use special weapons that I don't have, unless it's really necessary. Nice funky music. Oh. I see. That's your time limit. Oh yeah, this is the Tiki statues, isn't it? The more you destroy, the closer the spikes come. Instead, we have a speed challenge. Which I think is the best replacement we can have. If we can't get spikes jutting out of the floor, we can just do this instead. Well, in the original, the moles could break through the floor. That made this section a lot scarier. Now it isn't as scary. It's a lot more slower paced. Strangely enough, I don't begin with Rush Coil. Well, I guess we didn't start with in that game either. Oh, what do you mean, Zen? Oh yeah, if she doesn't have the charge broom, it can be a problem. It's only Pluto. Neon Tiger before Neon Tiger. Flashy Cat. I mean, it's as faithful as it can be. Mid-boss I feel was harder than the actual boss fight, if you do it Buster only. That's the funny thing. Anyways, by feeding him we get the spread drill. Let's go after Dynamo Man next. Target your play, score of 10. And as promised, I'm gonna swap between Mega and Base for every level. Almost every level. I wanna fight Wily with Mega Man. Actually, now I'll fight Wily with Base. Sheesh, giving Dynamo Man stage this team makes it changes the feeling quite a bit. Now it feels... I don't know, this kind of reminds me of Castlevania in some way, or Konami. Also a bit more dramatic. I don't know how to describe it. Wrestle Roadmaster? I guess the closest thing is Concrete Man. Those body slams. No E for me. Also, we broke the sound effect. If you manage to destroy both of them before they fully form again, it keeps playing the sound effect until we exit and re-enter the room. Let me in the mid-boss. Yes, I need that. Spread drill. It just completely wrecks Whopper. It's incredible, actually. Oh yeah, I forgot. This originated from this stage. Yeah, I lost track of what was happening. Sorry, I need to see. I lost track of where it was. Oops. Sound effect's still a little bit bugged. When I think of Dynamo Man stage, I think the boss fight with the batteries. Not holding right. And the conveyor belts, but not the lights out section. Really? What? Oh. Okay. I'm trying to go faster, but I end up getting killed again. Give me my healing. Oh. I would prefer if the light goes one block further to the left. I couldn't see the ladder initially. Maybe the original stage did that, I can't remember. Suspiciously empty screen. Hey, Paul. Am I still doing VR levels? Only in the morning, I'm afraid. I'm not accepting level IDs right now. But you can submit them in the Discord server, and I'll be happy to cover them next Saturday. You troll. Well, I suppose he does recharge. The biggest problem is his kind of RNG pattern. I managed to salvage it. Well, Arcane has the advantage of being made directly by Riot. Directly produced and funded by Riot, which has quite a bit of budget allocated to it. So they didn't cheap out on anything. And the results show how well it came out. Alright. Let's see. Sure, let's do this one. Let's go after Magic Man next. 38 play, score of 8. Carnival Night Zone. But the pitch is off. trains are here. Well, Capcom just licensed it, didn't they? Most companies did that, or had someone else do it. Depending on the franchise and the production studio and how much money and time they have, it'll result in very different end results. Most of the RE films, if I recall correctly, are commercial successes, even if they're not good in the slightest. This sounds off pitch. I keep worrying about the bug of falling right off of it. Oh hi, it's you. It's good thing you can despawn. Based off the mid-boss and Clownman stage. And this team isn't really doing it. In the slightest. Sorry. Hang on. Better. Sorry, that was just getting... My bad? Sorry, that music was starting to grate on me. Okay, I have to wait. The other choices, vacuum, were fine, but this one, oh. I don't know what happened, but it just sounds off. Really, a lot. Maybe it's due to limitations of the NSF format. Because yikes, the original one wasn't this bad sounding. Capcom gave approval for the movie scripts, but a movie's more than a scripts. Frankly, from the sounds of it, Capcom just wasn't really that much involved with the project. But don't quote me on that. Hey, Sinesk. If some of the soundtracks sound too grating, I'll replace them. Put them back to original. Whatever happened to the live action? I don't know. It's in developer purgatory. And here I thought it was going to come out before the Sonic movie, and lo and behold, it's still not come out before Sonic 2. I mean, at this rate, it'll come out after Sonic 3, or 4, or the Knuckles mid-series, and the second Mario movie, hypothetically. What? Can someone explain this? Oh no. Well, I'm gonna just chalk this off as being magic. In today's episode of the spikes being offset from the blocks, Oh, cool, one of these. Oh, how I wish I had base for this. Especially as the spikes are no slouch in terms of ouching. And yes, I could use Ice Wall, but, you know, I don't want to cheat. Hey Rajolt, hey Hunter, welcome. Seriously? I don't remember it being this difficult. Did something get shifted? Hey everyone, welcome for Mega Team Upstream. Glad you could all make it. Important question. Did Kyle win? Or is he still on his losing streak? Now it's working. Thanks. I'm gonna have to wait one more after this. Only had the rush coil. Really, game? I really wish I could play with the Magwell engine. This original section was never this hard. At last, after what felt like 7 failures, we're done. Unintentionally, this became harder than what it was originally. Now this is faster. I know this is supposed to be difficult, but... Base with his treble boost and, of course, double jumping. Oh cool, now I can see the bell wielders, ringers. Seriously, again glitched? Thing is, this was how it was originally, but due to engine glitches or probably a mistake, this has suddenly become much harder than it was before. I don't... I don't want to play this. It's not fun. I'm just gonna use the elevator to place myself back there. It's not fun to go through this over and over. The original stage was never this difficult. And the frustrating thing is you have to wait to do it properly. If you don't play as base, you can't double jump or use the treble boost, and Mega Man doesn't start with the rush coil. And I don't want to use the E-Tank for safety. Okay, we're back here. Because these spikes deal 7 damage. I'll mark this as yellow as I could technically finish it, because I did do it many times before when I originally played the game. But here, it's just a waste of time. Yeah, we can assume that Uncharted is a self-conclusive game. Oh, speaking of difficult bosses, Ringman. But honestly, that entire last section was painful. I don't know. There's the issue with the hitbox, maybe it's more my fault really, but then there's stuff like the spikes being offset and, you know, making the jump, and controller issues as usual. So yeah, that's it. Alright. Let's take a chill pill and go after Cold Man. With 17 plays and a score of 6. I mean, Itora is also self-conclusive, but it does have more potential sequel hooks. I mean, more obvious sequel hooks. Some games you can make sequels even if they don't have sequel hooks, but others are just so self-conclusive it's not necessary. Or you have to think of a very good justification why. Like some games scream for a sequel, other games scream, we're done. Outside of reboots, I suppose. Burner Man is gonna be much easier, Jedok. Burner Man stage was never that... Well, in this engine, Burner Man stage isn't gonna be that tough, as one of the gimmicks that made it difficult doesn't exist. If anything, I thought Magic Man was gonna be somewhat difficult, but, you know... And as usual, Base has an easier time in the stages, Mega Man has an easier time against bosses. And because the majority of the game involves you going through stages, that's why they say playing through the game as Base is easy mode. Only 10% of the game Mega Man excels at. I mean, the game is built for Mega Man 2. The thing is, though, it's much harder for him. The thing is, it's noticeably harder for him. Maybe not much harder, but noticeably harder. There's also the fact of what kind of sequel is produced. I can't really think of any right now off the top of my head. And when I say sequels, I'm talking about direct successors, like numbered entries. I'm not talking about spiritual successors. Oh, that didn't go horribly wrong. Well, it still has some potential sequel. For instance, restoring the world, the rest of the planet, and any other demons to dispatch, like Smelter's siblings, or enemies. Oh, wait. Hang on. Sure. I damaged him with my mind when I was frozen. Easiest stage so far, but, you know, first stage candidate. Now, let's warm up with Burner Man. 87 plays and a score of 29. Grabbing this just in case. Mario. I don't think it'll be Smelter tricking anyone. I think it'll be someone else. Like one of Smelter's many enemies. And if it's gonna be anyone tricking anyone else, it's gonna involve many different people. Not just one. Also, I don't think this game takes place on Earth, so that's not really applicable. That's not really applicable. Super Mario Maker, okay. Don't have a fire weapon, because I get it from here. Far bluer than what I remember. Oh yeah, this originally had the fake floors. Nah, not really interested. I don't really care so much about armor, I care more about the gameplay. Alright, this is the one where those sharp sticks stick out from the background. Because we don't have the gimmick, we instead have the needle presses. I mean, my biggest concerns with the game, if there's a sequel, are less with the character designs and more with the actual gameplay and balancing. We discussed it before, but the armor balancing needs some better work. Like one of the starting armor is the best armor element, followed by water, and electricity isn't really that good. Even against enemies who it's supposed to be strong against. Gorabi aka Earth was so powerful, it was even fairly useful against enemies who were supposed to resist it, I think. Alright, here comes the fire. Light it up. Start? And of course the stages, but... unironically, one of the strongest weapons in Mega Man Base, and it's supposed to be more of a utility option. Yeah, Aramago didn't have enough merits. It was supposed to be the fast armor, but... honestly, it wasn't fast enough. And Gurabi, or the art armor, was too... it was too nimble or mobile. It should not have had the double jump, really. Or if it did, it should have had a more limited version of the double jump. Aramago should have had the more flexible double jump. It does, Cyanesque. Now, Tinykin, on the other hand, it has many different sequel hooks, as well as potential DLC. I mean, according to the lore, we didn't even explore the majority of the house. According to the game's lore, we didn't even explore all the house. There's several rooms in the second story which you never checked out, along with the basement and the outside garden. For one, we never actually visited the government headquarters. They discussed the tax collectors as well as the heads of the house, the heads of the bug council or government, but we never actually visited them. The closest thing to that was in the kitchen, but that was more a labor dispute. And I guess the closest thing to a full government or biggest city was Sanctar, in the second area. I didn't, Jaden. I've decided I'll re-record that episode because I screwed up so much in that level. I mean, this is a fair recreation, but without the spikes jutting in from the background and the fake floors, it's definitely not as difficult. Also, you have more time to react to the big tellies bombarding the fire, so... I thought this was going to be one of the harder stages, but Magic Man eclipsed it. It's likely going to eclipse everything else too. Alrighty, time for the repeats. Sixth up is Typhoon Man, aka the stand-in for Tengu Man. Archery plays in a score of 12. I originally played this stage a few weeks back, but for the sake of this level pack, I'm gonna do it again. Hey Nico Niva, welcome to the stream. And I deliberately picked it here with base because I want better mobility. Also, this used to be an auto-scroller, which is what made it tougher, and the screen size was smaller. We may revisit Aldwin's house, but more likely than not, we're also going to visit some of the other places the aliens covered in that globe. All those other bubbles. You saw in the ending how many bubbles were containing Earth's marvels and whatnot. various earth structures. Ardwin's house was bubbled up as, well, that's where Ardwin lived originally, and it was the example of a typical American suburban household. Hang on. See? Easy. Well, I don't know actually. Are they just bubbling up everything on Earth, or more than that? That's the question. Maybe, Nico. The developer's called Mega Man Maker Thailand, so I guess so? These are all demakes anyways. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to use that. My bad. Just ignore me using that. Hi again. Bye. Next auto-scroller. Or what was originally an auto-scroller. I don't know about that, Jaden. I don't think so, but you may have found a trick. Well, we'll find out in Lucis. As well as more of the backstory in Summum. Which, by the way, I may get to at the end of the year. We'll see. The longer I wait, the more content will be added. And it's a Metroid... It's not exactly a Metroidvania anymore. It's more of an action roguelite. It's called Typhoon Man because at least first half of the stage is the same, a demake, but the second half changes things up. Or at least the final 1/3. Yeah, it's more similar to Dead Cells than a Robot Named Fight. A Robot Named Fight is straight up a roguelike Metroidvania. I repeat, a roguelike Metroidvania. Whereas Dead Cells and Summum Eterna, they are 2D action roguelites. Light as in L-I-T-E. So progression persists between runs, aka there's meta progression, whereas with something like a Robot Named Fight, if you discount the procedural generation at the start, there is no meta progression. It's basically like playing a randomizer for Super Metroid, so to speak. Sheesh, I've been draining most of my weapons for this stage. I mean, another game also accomplished it, Chasm, but from the reviews it's much more mixed. I will play both of them eventually. Any weapon drainers? No. Well, I suppose so. Goodbye. Chasm, to be specific, is a 2D rogue-like action RPG Metroidvania. So it too does have procedure-generated Metroidvania maps like A Robot Named Fight, but with action RPG elements bolted in. Unfortunately, it seems like the proc-gen wasn't that interesting. But we'll find out. Like, I guess the best comparison for Chasm would be an Igavania, but imagine a procedure-generated Igavania. Seventh up is Vision Man, aka Astro Man stand-in, 80 play, score of 18. When I originally played through these stages, I found it very strange why most of the stage was basically the original Tengu and Astro Man. But if you play in the level pack, it makes more sense. Under Lonesome, I just found it really strange that why were they just taking the original stages and not directly accrediting them? And why only the last 1/3, 33% to 40% of the stage felt new-ish. But in this level pack, it makes more sense. Well, with Chasm, there isn't really soft-locking problems. The issue is that the level design itself isn't really that interesting, from what I understand. I know it's procedure generated, but it's not interesting. And I will play Ritual Denied after I do many of the Igavania titles first. You know, starting with Aria of Sorrow, when I eventually get to them, that is. Ah, discrete backgrounds. Oh yeah, oh boy. This actually resets my iframes when I do it. Hang on. Problem solved. I'm not really interested in Circle or Harmony. Symphony, well... yeah, I think I'll cover that first. You're right, I'll cover Symphony first. After I complete Rondo of Blood and everything in between, that's a major entry. Minus Dracula X, of course. I don't like that. But Circle and Harmony I'm gonna skip. I played Circle and didn't really find it that engaging. Same with Harmony, to be fair, but I think Harmony is a bit better. I don't remember. Yeah, I will play Kirby's Adventure, maybe. Well, okay, let me rephrase it. I may play Kirby's Adventure if people want me to. That to me is the first quote-unquote true Kirby game, instead of feeling like a tech demo. Well, not tech demo, that's too harsh. Instead of feeling like, should have known. Prototype. This is Astroman's, Yoko blocks. They aren't bad. I mean, that's how it was originally, and there was a checkpoint down here, so it's not that frustrating. I should have just kept holding right. And the music from Kirby works pretty well here. I mean, Kirby and Dreamland just... It didn't really feel like a... I'm being harsh now. It didn't exactly feel like a Kirby game. It felt more like the prototype to a Kirby game. Or a game starring Kirby. Or a game that's guest starring Kirby as the main character. Not having the ability to suck in enemies and gain their abilities. It's such a major characteristic of Kirby that not having it... It makes it feel more like a side game, not a main game. Also, it was actually harder than I expected it to be. Like, Kirby games have a reputation of being... Kirby games have a reputation of being on the easier side, fairly easy, outside of the bonus content. Well, most Kirby games. There are exceptions to that rule. But Kirby's Dream Land, that legitimately felt difficult in a few places. Kirby's Golf, Kirby's Canvas Curse, those were actually legitimately harder. But for the most part, the mainline Kirby games have been... easy, quote-unquote. Even easier than the Mario games. Whoa! Forgot about low grav. One hour in, and 7 RMs are defeated. Those were the 2 repeats. So last, but definitely not least, is Pirate Man. 44 plays, score 22 minus 2, aka 20. Whirlpool Man. Memories of Blue. Do I think Tiny Kidney is easier than an average Kirby game? Both of them are designed for well... The average mainline Kirby game is designed for beginners, or novices to a certain extent. That's why they tend to be easier, and not too punishing. And Tinykin is also designed for beginners to 3D platformers. See, most Kirby games are 2D games, or 2.5D games, so direct comparison is a bit difficult. Whereas Tinykin is true on true a 3D collectathon platformer. The only real exception to this is Kirby in the Forgotten Land. That's the first true, quote-unquote, true mainline 3D Kirby game. Technically, there have been 3D Kirby games before, but they weren't mainline. They were more mini-games or experiments. But I never played that, so I can't make an easy comparison there, or really watch footage of it. Pretty. So, I don't know. See, in Kirby games, you can technically die. It's not too difficult to die there. You still have bottomless pits and enemies to worry about. In Tinykin, you can't die. It's just that if you can't platform competently enough, you simply can't advance, or you keep falling off. So direct comparison is going to be difficult. Also, Tinykin requires more 3D platforming prowess or skill in the later stages. Especially if you don't upgrade the bubble. Raising the king flag. Yeah, I don't remember this in the original stage. This is new. But I like it. True. I kind of feel also that, from what I've seen, Kirby in the Forgotten Land, its platforming is more forgiving than Tinykin's. Deliberately so. The way Tinykin achieves forgiveness in his platforming is through the flutter bubble, allowing you to course correct your jumps. With Kirby in the Forgotten Land, it's your infinite float and forgiving hitboxes. As in Tinykin, the hitboxes aren't exactly forgiving. Well, they are sort of forgiving, but not to the same extent. Also, it doesn't require too much platforming prowess. Like, the platforms tend to be they never tend to be too small, unless you're going for some speed strat or something. So yeah, Rajolt. And Tinykin doesn't have any combat at all. So, again, direct comparisons can be difficult. I mean, you can technically die there, but you don't lose much in Tinykin. The last checkpoint is where you were last standing on solid ground. That still works. Bye. I mean, Kirby is very combat focused, even much more so than compared to Mario. Whereas Tinykin has no combat, pretty much. There's not even approaching a chase sequence or some sort of direct hazard you have to fight to destroy. Well, there are obstacles and some hazards you get rid of, but it's more puzzle-ish. I think this is one of my favorite stages. Anyways, these are all 8 of the Road Masters in this pack. I'll be right back in a moment for the further stages. And we are back to the adventure. Before the Fortress stage is the Crystal Gates. Before entering the Fortress stage is the Crystal Gate, with 66 plays and a score of 23. Well, I'll play as Mega twice. Oh yeah, the different abilities. Wait. And we're back to the adventure. Before entering King's Fortress, or rather King's Castle, we have to go through the crystal— oh, wait. What happened? That was strange. Ahem. Before entering King's Castle, we have to go through the Crystal Gate. 67 plays and a score of 23. AKA the part where you're forced to use your special weapons. Color-coded for your convenience. Much prefer this song over the original. Although I can shoot them right through the wall, so I'll try my best not to just cheese them outright. In the original version of this, they had those sorts of crystals which could only be destroyed by the weapon of their matching color. Which could only be destroyed by a weapon of the matching color. I guess? Purple. Oh wait, this is actually... What was that one then? Oh, oops. Yeah, it probably is a Tengu. Ow. I don't remember mines being here. Oh, pff. Go figure. Magma 3 will likely come out in late 2023 or early 2024, but don't quote me on that. Anyway, with the Crystal Gates destroyed, on to King Castle. Yeah, this should be Mega Man now. The Crystal Gate barely counts as a stage, so, to be fair. I wouldn't use Justice Man's castle team for this. Still under development, Pixel Boy. I know you're very interested in it, but please be patient. In the original, this is where the game encountered a difficulty spike. A pretty major one in that. Let's continue our conversation we were just having, Jaden. Let's compare Demon Turf with the two other 3D platformers we played recently. Those being Tinykin and Super Sammy Roll. Each three are designed for 3 different audiences. As I said, Tinykin was designed for beginners to 3D platformers. Whereas Demon Turf was designed for people who already had some experience with 3D platformers. Let me repeat. Tinykin was designed for people who didn't have any experience with 3D platformers or were beginners to novices. Demon Turf, on the other hand, was designed for people who already had some experience with 3D platformers. And Super Sammy Roll was designed for people who already were experienced in 3D platformers. You don't, Jaden. He doesn't even appear. And speedrunning. The funny thing is, Demon Turf actually starts out being more difficult than Super Sammy Roll. But by endgame, it's completely reversed. By endgame, Demon Turf is somewhat challenging, but Sammy Roll in its endgame is, oh boy, rather difficult. Very difficult, I'd say. Funny how that is. That's why I only recommend Sammy Roll if you really like what you see and you already have played several 3D platformers beforehand. Otherwise, you'll be in for a rough time following World 2. Like, starting from World 3, maybe even the latter parts of World 2. As it starts introducing more precise platforming combined with momentum-based gameplay. And this isn't Sonic. Momentum here, maintaining correct momentum is much more important. In the good old Sonic games, the classic ones, maintaining correct momentum is key for fast gameplay, keeping your speed, going fast. In Sammy Roll, it's necessary for survival. What I'm saying is, in the classic Sonic games, if you didn't keep your momentum correct, you just go slower. In Sammy Roll, if you don't maintain it correctly, you die. It's high difficulty. The patio tier is a different kind of difficult. Like, the patio is basically Diet Kaizo, so not a direct comparison. Oh, I know that I remember pulling off a trick here. But I can't pull off the glitch. Okay, it's safe. I mean, I like Eternal Noctis more, but that's because I like Metroidvanias more. It's more difficult to compare games in different genres after all. And I'm dead because I fell right through the one block, and it's difficult to get back through the one block. I mean, Eternal Noctis, as I said, was one of my favorite games of last year, so I marked it as being the second or third below Tinykin. Like, Tinykin I'd say is good. Eternal Noctis I'd say is decent to almost good. More towards almost good. It's also one of the few Metroidvanias that I'd say is legitimately very difficult. They knew what audience they were going for and targeted it. Get me down, get me in, get me in. Samuel I'd say is decent at the very least, which for a 1 or 2 man studio is very good. Very respectable. If Wily was not in fan games like Rock Force... What I'm Let me explain what I think you're saying, Jedok, or how I'm interpreting it. You're saying that if Wily wasn't in if Dr. Wily wasn't in fan games like Rock Force, then there wouldn't be a mastermind to take over the world in those games. Is that what you're saying? Oh, suddenly what? Suddenly Venus waterfalls? And to that, I would answer Jedok that there are more evil geniuses than Dr. Wily out there. Even if Dr. Wily isn't involved in the plot, you can still have an evil mastermind involved. Okay? Oh, screwed this up already. You don't just need mad scientists. You can also have gangs, mafia, robots gone amok, other evil geniuses, criminals. Oh, yeah. It shouldn't be just Dr. Wily who's the only main villain in the Mega Man Classic franchise. That's where the old Archie comics got it right. They had more villains than just Wily. Oh, cool. What was your weakness again? You don't even need a Proto Sigma. Or aliens, yeah. Yeah, Xander Payne was one example in the Archie comics. We would have had more, and Dr. X was actually a separate character in that. What was the original weakness of him? This one? Oh, yeah. Hitbox. Copy vision, got it. That makes sense. Open your eyes, please. Okay, let's try this again because it decided to shut its eyes. Thank you for walking off. I keep thinking the hitbox is more forgiving, like the original game, but no, this is NES logic. So, more precise. Ah, at last. Doing this without this special weapon weakness, I think it's harder than the original. But like I said, this is where the game encounters a difficulty spike, and is accurately replicated. Next up, King 2, 15 play, score of 3. What happens if a game doesn't meet its crowdfunding goal? At least on Kickstarter, and I believe on Indiegogo, all the money is refunded to all the backers. Wait a sec. Well, I guess if their only weakness is their eyes. Gotta love the base route. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate Dono's Tale wasn't able to be funded. But it happens. Not everything can be funded. Oh yeah, the King tank. Whose treads have been broken. Wait, can I even actually hit it with base? I mean, we should turn on both parts, it's only fair. Okay, we have to use a weakness. I can't hit it otherwise. So, let's do this again. What? Are you kidding me? No checkpoint? Oh, wait, the original stage did this, didn't it? It was accurate to that degree, too. Alright, speedrunning time. I can't blame the designer for that, really, if they're trying to be accurate. There is right after this boss, isn't it? Okay, let's blow up the tank now. It's only fair. If I'm forced to use special weapons, I'm just gonna try using the weakness. What was the weakness again? Was it the explosion? One down. Oh, cool. Spike balls. Oh, thank you. Oh, that was a close one. How did Mario and Luigi defeating Sephiroth become a meme? Yeah, relief. That's one way to keep the same tension going in the original fight. Of course, Mega would have the easier time. Remote mine, we have an explosive weapon, but it can't reach, can it? So the best weapon would have been the charge shot. Somehow I jumped over that whale migration. I'm worried about the... Well, at least I don't need to fight the plane as Mega. That could have been a nightmare. When I say plane, I mean jet. They're too durable otherwise. Also, no E-tanks. Alright, here's the jet. Also, longest stage in the game. You know, this actually makes it a bit easier. We don't need to keep jumping on the platforms in an infinite loop, or an infinite series. So, even with Mega, this wouldn't be that difficult. It of course depends on what series you're in. If you're in the Marioverse, Mario and Luigi will definitely win. If only for the power of humor, and all the crazy abilities they get. Oh, thank you. Oh yeah, no fist either that can destroy the platforms. Of all the bosses in the game, the King Jet is by far the most difficult one, and resulted in the most game overs, especially as Mega. But even as base is no slouch either. Anyways, you fight King here. He did, but that was Mario by himself. If it's Mario and Luigi though... Also, he fought him in the Final Fantasy verse. Let's suss out weaknesses. Oh, right. Honestly, I wish there was a checkpoint here, even though it wasn't in the original. If he's actually the boss of the stage, that's good design. Especially if you have limited lives. At least here we have infinite lives, but just imagine playing this without that. Or even a full refill. Thankfully it doesn't take too far to get back, but just imagine playing through the stage to get here, only to game over, being forced to start from the beginning. And this is basically 3 stages in one. This really should have been... I'm more complaining about the original game than this now. Here it's fine because infinite lives. But the original really should have been 2 or 3 different fortress stages at the very least. The King Genesis Lonesome already is a very formidable fortress boss. Of course, now I want to keep jumping all around. Not so much now. I was mashing the start button, game. Why aren't you listening? I have to remember there's kind of a 30-second delay. Not 30 seconds. There's a 30-frame delay, at worst. Or maybe a 15-second. And the problem is I don't have Mega. What was their original weakness, King? Okay. But I tried using Shock, it didn't really do much. Okay, I'll try one more time, see what happens. Oh, of course, now you decide. See, no weakness. Yes. That way I can always keep it at least on this side. Perfect. Darn. I believe in you. Yes. Alright, second phase. Now he's weak to Scramble Thunder. In the original, we did have to dodge those X's, as Jedok pointed out. But here, we actually have to defeat him. So, I guess no weakness for us. We're done, and we're out of here. Artist stage in the original game, and by extension, this pack. Checkpoint? Hey, bloke. One more reset because I want even more refills. Oh yeah, the king tank. If you need another reason why this should have been all two or three different stages, here's the other example. Like seriously, why did we need 4 fortress bosses in the same stage? 2 of which are actually rather formidable. And 1 is formidable. That upper left platform is only there for Mega Man Classic, otherwise he can't... There is a chance he won't be able to hit the top part of the tank. But it's here nonetheless because we don't have character-specific boss rooms. We could, but, you know, to save and development time. But yeah, if there was one change to make to Mega Man and Base, it would be to split the stage into at least 2 or 3 stages. Seriously. The King Jet should be the end of its own stage. Then we fight King himself. Then we have the rest of the stage where we fight King and then the King tank. I guess copy vision? No? Oh yeah, Thunder, I think. No? Okay, middle. Oh, that's cool. It even homes in on that instead. Oh. Still need to be careful, though. Which makes sense, as it's supposed to draw fire. As a reminder, I wish there was a way you can disable the button combination for sliding. What's the weakness of the top part of the tank again? Okay, card. Cool. As are my... Cool, I don't even have the tanks anymore. I mean, the biggest problem right now is Top Man. That's one down. Oh yeah, sorry. I just want to finish this. Honestly, sometimes it feels like it just loses it and targets whoever. It was also rather difficult in the original, but this is more due to controller issues. Some of the jumps didn't register, so I took extra hits, and that last time when I used the tanks I would have won if it actually registered. The original fight is actually supposed to be harder, but this one is more to the engine issues. That's my main issue. And again, I said this before and I'll say it again. When I played Mega Man 2, the more I played it, the more I felt like I wanted to keep going. You know, one more turn. Whereas with Mega Man Maker, especially in the older versions, the more I played it, the more frustrated I got. Anyways, on to the last stage, King Tree aka Wily. 19 plays, score of 3. But again, it's more due to the engine itself. Also, I really wish we could carry E and M tanks throughout the pack. That would have helped alleviate many of these issues. There were E tanks I could have collected in the earlier stages, and I did, which I really wish I could carry over. They would come in super handy. Alright, time for the rematches. Poor Cold Man. Getting stun locked into oblivion. I never said Mega Man in base was terrible though. X6 is far worse. At least the level design is okay. I have just issues with some of the pacing. That was me. And by my standards, Mega Man base isn't terrible. Oh yeah, Astro Man. Copy Vision. Well, not Copy Vision, sorry. That's the weapon I get from him. Magic card, sorry. It would make more sense if we were actually fighting Astro Man. Doesn't like either game, but again, I have issues with Mega Man base, but I don't hate it. It is by far the most difficult game in the classic franchise, though. My bad. Oh, if you do it too fast, you get blown off. I'm just getting worn off from some of the earlier parts. I was going to say that this is overall going to be easier than the original game, but I've reconsidered due to some design decisions and engine. But I will say it is mostly a faithful remake of the original Mega Man base. And most of the stages up until King 2 are easier. Dynamo Man, so copy vision. You. And of course no checkpoints until after the boss, that wasn't changed. The problem is his anchor, and he has an inconsistent movement pattern. Last time I fought him was with base. Like, of all the arms we fought in this pack, he's by far the most difficult. Well, there's also Darkman, but he's the stand-in for King. Also, copy vision doesn't actually deal enough damage to justify using it, really. Unless you're playing as base, of course. Then it makes much more sense. If you're playing as Mega, just use the charge shot. Anger spends at least half the fight invincible anyways, so you have time to charge up. Well, it's unpredictable and very damaging. If you want a harder experience, try doing this as base without his weakness. Well, to be fair, there you have better mobility, so it balances out. And hey, at least it doesn't recharge his health. Whoa. I think someone made a mistake. He's not supposed to be weak against the Buster. What happened? Anyways, this whole stage is basically reduxes of all the 8 RM stages. Taking their major gimmicks and putting one section before them, before we fight them for real again. For context, the intro stage plus the 8 ARM stages took about an hour to complete. The final 3 stages will take another hour. Because really the 3 stages are more like 6 stages, or 5. Yes! Can't see you. Aw, there's no goofy sound effect either. And I should have healed up. There we go. Okay then, that's another way of defeating him. Oh no. Welcome to lag heaven. Or should I say lag freezatory? If we had the lightning bolt, or any screen clearing weapon for that matter, this will suffice. What's your weakness again? Oh. Okay. I think that's fair. Now that I think about it, this could actually act as the backup weakness for multiple bosses, including Anchor. Because it always deals 3 damage, doesn't it? Assuming they don't resist it. Also, another long stage that probably should have been 2 stages. Don't be fooled by the low number of fortress stages in Mega Man and Base. It really has 6 fortress stages from the classics from previous games. It really has the equivalent of 6 fortress stages, like in the previous games. It's longer than Mega Man 7's, I'd say. Pluto. Who are you again? Oh yeah, Drill. I mean ground. We should be almost there now. I don't mind the existence of these stages, but they really should have been shorter. What makes it worse in the original game is you had a limited number of lives, so if you run out, kicked back to the start. Oh man. Not gonna risk it. Tengu's next. See? He's also affected by his own weapon. Or Typhoon Man, you're right. Did we get through everyone yet? Or am I missing someone? Still, despite it looking to be longer, despite it being technically longer than the previous one, a lot less arduous because it was mostly stage and refights. We didn't have 2 formidable fights. Well, 3 formidable and 2 were rather formidable. And they were technically supposed to be easier. No auto-score in Bottomless Pit, no auto-score for one of them. Although I think the tank was tougher. Okay, what was your weakness again? Gotcha. No, thank you. I'm gonna use everything now. Goodbye. Capsule time. Isn't it? It's basically the same capsule from Mega Man 8, isn't it? Go on, beg for mercy. Oh boy. And thus, this marks the end of the level pack Rockman Forte 1.8 for Mega Man Maker. Overall, this was a pretty faithful recreation or demake of Mega Man Base in the Mega Man Maker format. Originally, I was gonna say that it was overall easier, but now I'm reconsidering. We had stuff like the Magic Man issues in the last section, and of course King 2, where it really felt like 2 of the bosses were tougher than the original one, especially noticeable in the King tank. I don't know if all those things could attack at the same time. Probably they could, but it just felt tougher. Engine issues didn't help either. But compared with last week's level pack, I think I like this more. It left a better impression on me. Yeah, I know Mega Man Base is the toughest entry in the Mega Man Classic franchise currently, and it has a myriad of issues. But at least up until the King Fortress, it did a fair job of being enjoyable. But only if you really experienced the Mega Man Classic series. If not, I don't recommend it. And the GBA port is worse, don't play that. In any case, thank you all for attending tonight's stream. Oh boy, 2 hours. Like I said, intro stage plus the 8 RM stages took an hour. Everything else took another hour. Alright, I'll see you all tomorrow for the finale of the main... I'll see you all tomorrow for the finale of Demon Turf. Specifically for the normal ending. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.